Colm Begley, in a Leinster final, that must feel pretty good. First time in a very long time.
Yeah, a very long time. 2005 for me now. It was the last time against Dublin actually back then. So yeah, fantastic experience. It's probably the last few years haven't been going great for Laois football, and you often wonder would you get the same chance again. Fortunately, the way it's worked out and how things have went, I have the opportunity to play against Dublin now on 24th, and really looking forward to it.
Laois has had an up-down, I suppose, history in recent years.
Yeah. Mainly down, I suppose.
Mainly down.
Yeah.
Was that really down part, the relegation? Was that the catalyst maybe for change?
Yeah, it's hard to understand, I suppose, the full mechanics of what happened with it. I think we've had a year where Division 4 football, I suppose, has only in some way helped us. We haven't been playing against a massively high calibre team starting off, and we can develop some younger players. But the relegation was a tough one, and it was hard to take for players because the commitment from players over the last few years has been great as well. Just sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to work out. There's probably a few things that have combined. I think the management's come into the system we have, and it kind of gives a very clear picture about how to play, and all the players have bought into that. I'm not saying they didn't in the years gone by, but I think as a collective we're much closer and much clearer on what we want to play the games. Again, winning games, we've brought some young players in who have added some kind of energy to it and put some more competitiveness into actually getting positions and stuff. So a combination of small things, and maybe we're playing better football. We have some players that come back in and who are starting to play good football too. And
I actually heard Ross speaking on off the ball recently, and he was saying, obviously he's getting older, it's a little bit harder to get on the team, and maybe that's a good thing. When there's internal competition, everyone has to work that little bit harder, even though you may think you were working just as hard before, but maybe it has an effect.
No, definitely, I think it does. Like I said, we kind of, even some of the young boys we've brought in, or some of the players, not even young lads, but have been in for the last few years, have come in and just, even if maybe the last few years gone by, if you had a bad game, you may still start the next game because your experience or the calibre of player you're expected to be. But this year, if you weren't playing well, lads are brought in to give a chance in your position. So the competition there is definitely increased, and I think it brings on a better calibre in yourself and encourage you to strive to be a better player too. So definitely helps. Ross is right in saying that, because I know for myself as one of the older players, I know of 4 or 5 young lads striving to get into that position there, so I have to be top of my game. Dublin are a fantastic team, but we'll approach it the same as we have approached other games, analyse them, try and figure out how we can adapt our, I suppose, game plan and system of play to best fit and compete as much as we can against Dublin. So, but the winning feeling is important. It is, and you can get a roll of wins. We're by no means playing a perfect football, and we're, I think, developing after every game. And even the game against Carlow gone by, a frustrating game to play in, but we made lots of mistakes, but we still won the game, in a hard-fought one. So
nobody complains when they win a game that isn't the prettiest to look at. But even yourself, when you're playing in a game like that, do you feel it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think it is frustrating enough in those games because players want to carry the ball, I like to pass the ball whenever I can, and I have good target men like Donny Kingston, Ross Money, and Evan Carr like them I to pass it to. You want to move the ball as fast as you can in certain games, but when you're playing it, you've got a job to do. You just kind of adapt to what the scenario is. Once it's over, if you win, you don't care really how it goes down as long as you have to win.
Adapt is a good word there, because you're going to be playing Dublin next. I'd imagine that will probably bring its own frustrations. This time, instead of maybe being really defensive and frustrated trying to pass the ball around, it might go up a level and you might be frustrated trying to get possession.
Is it going to be frustrating? I don't think so. I think we'll get enough of the ball in our hands ourselves. Whether we can use it effectively is the key thing. Making good decisions against top calibre teams. I think that teams like Dublin and higher level teams, when you make mistakes, they can punish you very quickly and all. And that's the difference probably between top end tier and teams and lower end teams. So we have to be clever at how we play it. But we're going to approach it, analyse it, and look. I'll be honest that players do look forward to challenges, and you look at the players that Dublin have. Some fantastic forwards. Me being a defender, I have a serious challenge ahead of myself, but I'm looking forward to it.
I was just going to say, if you had a chance now up against any Dublin forward, who would be your favourite to play? Just because that you like their style of play, or who do you think you'd have a better game with?
Oh, I don't know. I know back in the olden days, or a few days I played Dublin before, Paul Finn I would have marked Paul Finn a fair bit, and I always enjoy that challenge. A very hard-working player, good running style, competitive in breaks. So that was it was always an interesting game, but don't ask me to pick which forward to play against in Dublin. they all have fantastic abilities and good strengths. But no matter who it is, I'm sure it's going to be a good challenge. Looking at the outcome, I'm not going to make bold predictions about what we'll do, what we won't do. Like I said, at this year we're very much developing, very much trying to build on ourselves and trying to improve each game and measure ourselves against different calibre teams. We're now playing one of the higher calibre teams, but my approach won't be any different. I've played against so many players in different games, in club and colleges, and understand what calibre they are. But we honestly believe that our system of play can be effective against teams, and when it's done appropriately, we just have to go out and challenge ourselves and see how we go. You know, we just don't know. But we have respect for Dublin, fantastic team. But we also, you know, we deserve to be in this final. We've developed and we've won these hard games to win. Division 3, Division 4, doesn't matter. A team's a team you have to play against. So we're just going to approach the same way we approach any team, see how we go against it, and be as competitive as we can.